All right, the time has come. We're gonna take this brand new 2024 corner carving dark horse to the drag strip. First thing we had to do was remove that gurney flap. Why? Well, that creates unnecessary drag. In fact, earlier this week, when we were testing down in Mexico with our Draggy app, we noticed a 2-mile-per-hour difference removing this gurney flap. Well, we can't take all the credit. Glenn Vitale was noticing the same thing out at Sebring International Raceway, where he was running lower speeds than our white HPD car, with really the only difference being that gurney flap. While it creates great downforce and helps the car hug those turns, it's going to create too much drag, especially at the drag strip. So what we did, we went online. Not too many people have actually drag raced this car. Well, probably because it's not set up for drag racing. So Motor Trend went out, they went at 12.6 seconds at 113.5 mile an hour with the manual. With the automatic, it's a whole half a second quicker. You're looking at 12.0 to 12.1. So with the manual dark horse, you're looking at a 12.6 according to Motor Trend. With the Draggy app, it said we went at 12.96 at 110. Now that's on an unprepped street type surface, so you can't really launch the car. We came back, we pulled off the gurney flap, and we made another attempt yesterday. And it actually went at 12.86 at 112. So we picked up 2 miles an hour by removing that gurney flap. So now we're gonna go head up to SGMP, go on a prep surface. We're not changing anything. So we got the factory Trofeos on here, right? No drag pack, no sticky Mickeys. Everything is 100% stock, the exact way it came from the factory. So let's see what this corner carving dark horse is gonna do at the 1320. All right, so we just got to the track with the dark horse. Since it's 100% stock, well, we drove it here, right? Hit some back roads, tore them up on the way here. Now, we're gonna do the simple things we know how to do, which is set tire pressure, right? So we're gonna add air to the front tires, right? We wanna basically crown the tire, less rolling resistance in the front. Now, Glenn reported that the rear tires actually liked a little bit more air pressure for traction out at Sebring. So we're gonna leave those alone. I think it says it's like 33 pounds in the back, so we're just gonna let that be. Now, unfortunately, we haven't been to the track with the car. We did a couple tests on the street trying to play with that launch RPM. Now, since we're on stock tires, you got a really, really small sidewall. There's nothing to absorb the shock, especially with a manual transmission. So launching it today is gonna be the key to trying to go 1260s or better. We got some testing done on the street, did a 209 short time on the street with no prep. The track, we should have a lot more traction, but how much RPM can those Trofeos take? Well, that remains to be seen. So launching it's gonna be the trickiest thing. The rest should be up to the driver as long as I do my job. Let's see how deep in the 12s we can go. All right, just shift every freaking gear, Scott. Good thing nobody's at the track because I stink. And that's it. You got gapped by a GT. And my arm is soaking wet. All right, that was bad. That was that was as bad as it got. We didn't do that on the street. So what happened? First pass, it's kind of cool. We line up against another 2024 Mustang Race Red GT. Now this one had the automatic. And as you know from the internet, the automatics are about a half a second quicker than the manual transmission cars. Now the Dark Horse does make a little bit more power, but I don't think that was going to be enough to make up for the quick shifting of that 10R80. Now, it was his first time at the track with the 10R80, so I walked him through some tips, how to stage the car and things like that, and we said, hey, let's have some fun runs. And then not only was it a 10R80 car, but it had our Stop the Hop kit in the rear, as well as an AWE exhaust kit. So it's probably making similar power numbers as the Dark Horse, and it's got that Stop the Hop kit. So the first pass we line up, I go a 199 60 foot. I'm thinking pretty good. He was late leaving. I see him out of the corner of my eye. Then I screwed up. Missed second gear, get all upset. He comes flying by. I'm looking at him, tag the rev limiter. Okay, abort the pass, right? Okay, get the jitters out. That was the first run. He was all excited. He went a 12.6. That's what we're trying to go. So I suggested some changes for him, right? Let's bump the air pressure up in the front. Let's lower the back a little bit. Same technique we were doing on the Dark Horse, so that we left the air pressure alone in the back, kept it at 34 pounds because that's what Glenn said worked really good out there at Sebring. All right, let's see if I can remember how to drive a manual transmission. That was a good old-fashioned drag race, buddy. I think I got him on a hole shot. That was it, because he was coming up on me, but that was fun. That was a lot of fun. That reminds you of days back at Moroso, right? Everybody had T5 Fox bodies out there, and you're just rowing gears, and that was good. After a disastrous first pass, I'm glad I got my together. All right. Sorry about that. No problem.
They want to get apart from each other today.
All right, so 60 foot was worse. 204. First pass is a 199. 1273 at 112. Got him on the tree. 107 to 377. And got him at the stripe by 600ths or 67 thousandths. That was fun. That was a good old drag race. That was fun. We were staring at each other the whole time. Yeah. It was 67 thousandths at the stripe. What's wild is how that 10R80 car really starts pulling up top, because he was closing in. If it was about 1,370 feet, we would have lost the drag race, but we barely edged him out, got him on a hole shot, won a respectable 1273. Now, judged by the DA, we're at 2,400 feet. It's 93, 94 degrees outside. It was hot, it was humid. We really kind of made a mistake. I should have known better. We ended up doing a good burnout for pictures, videos, right, social media. But unfortunately, these tires do not like a lot of heat. It's not your typical drag radial, slick, or even street tire. Unfortunately, they becomes a breaking point where the road race tires will start to get greasy. So after the second pass, we lined it back up, did a real short burnout for the third pass, and it was wheel hop city. car's bone stock, and that's a clear example of why we sell so much suspension. It just wheel hopped instantly, violently. I kind of try to lighten off the pedal. It's not going to do a damn thing at that point. And the run's aborted, so it get no data from it whatsoever, except for, sorry Glenn, years off your tires and your clutch. Air intake temps is 99 degrees. Cylinder head temps 212. That's fun, thanks. I've got the heat on full blast right now, trying to get some heat out of the motor. Drop from 203 to 194. Air intake temps 118. I think we screwed ourselves doing burnouts. Although that time I stayed in it, and I tried the no lift shift, which seemed to work remarkably well. Heat on, we're pulling right back around. I mean, I don't think I can do a burnout because I think the tires are way too greasy. Well, that's interesting. Somehow we lost everything on that pass. Pre-collision assist. Blind spot system fault. No drive mode. Cross traffic system fault. Huh. Wonder what code we threw. I think the tires are done. I can't even launch at freaking idle, and they're just greasy, greasy, greasy. Glenn, I'm sorry. That was basically 1,500 RPMs. It just blew it off. Thanks, buddy. Yeah, 2.4 and 60 foot's getting worse and worse and worse. He's going faster every time with an automatic. Imagine that. We're going slower every time. We're gonna back it in, grab something to eat, wait an hour or so, and then make another pass. And if it just barks the tires like it's doing, we're done. Hindsight's 20/20, right? I think it's because of that burnout. It got those tires very greasy. I mean, you can see some of these pictures. It looks like I put tire shine on the wrong side of the tire. But Wheel Hop City launched anywhere from 3,500, right? Because the third pass, 2,500, a little bit of wheel speed, a little bit of barking. Let's try and lean on a little bit harder, right? Sun's maybe coming down a little bit. Not really, it was still hot. So that didn't work. I progressively lowered it all the way down to 1,500, and we're still spinning the tire. Like I said, I think we found the threshold with those rear tires because they just don't like that much heat. You can even see it spinning really bad and going sideways in the second gear. But one thing that did help was my level of frustration as it was going through the roof. I decided to try the no lift shifting, right? These new dark horses, if you're wide open throttle and you're above 7,000 RPM, you don't have to get off that gas pedal. Back in the days, we called it power shifting. It was fun. You were 1, 2, maybe even 3/10 of a second quicker in the quarter mile, but it was horrible on clutches, input shafts, shift forks because of how fast you're shifting. So it was very detrimental to the rest of your drivetrain. These new cars, I couldn't wait to text Glenn. It was unbelievable. It felt like it was smoother. No free revving, just hold your foot, weld that gas pedal to the floor and just kick and pull each gear, and it really felt like it shifted a lot easier. So we ran the 3 passes, Wheel Hop City, right? So got 2 passes left before the end of the night, so we just wanted to get the car down the track. so upset. Why is it 221 degrees? So, no lift shift works better than lifting on shift, because that's the second damn time I grinded the piss out of second gear. I'm so upset. We really just wanted to do another 12-second pass. I mean, you've got 6 passes here, been out here for 2.5 hours, and one 12-second pass. So you got 4 passes in there, you're wheel hopping, you're spinning the tires, you're not getting all the gears properly. So 7th and final pass, basically roll it out just above idle. 60 foot was soft. That's what's gonna kill that pass. I'm guessing 60 foot was a 211. Maybe, no, probably like a 215. It needs to go 2019. But it didn't spin. 2024, brother.
Yes, sir.
Thanks, man.
Say so many numbers tonight, man.
Yeah, 1296. We're done. I said 215 and went a 216 short time. We did go 114 though. So we lowered the tire pressure down 28 pounds to try to get that extra grip on this last pass. Well, it did. It went a 216 short time, which wasn't as good as the first 2 passes, when unfortunately I think we destroyed the tires. But kicked and pulled each gear, and it did end up going to 1296 at 114. So the air got a little bit better. DA was still over 2,200 feet, but because we let air out of the tire, it allowed it to grow a little bit more going through the quarter mile, which is why it went its fastest mile an hour of the night, a 114.2. So what did we learn? What did we come away with? Well, I posted the next morning that the Dark Horse is a track car. It's not a drag car. And I still firmly believe that. It's got all the creature comforts. It handles, I'll be honest, the back roads on the right of the track, I could not find the limit of that suspension or those tires. It just begged for more. Awesome, awesome handling car. But at the drag strip, it definitely leaves a lot to be desired. But like I said, that's not what Ford intended with this car. So the one thing I noticed that was really curious, it ran a lot hotter than our Silver Bullet car. The Silver Bullet's typically in the 170s to 180s cylinder head temps by the time we make a pass. The Dark Horse was never under 200. Even when we waited almost 45 minutes in between passes, it never was under 200 degrees. I'm not really sure why that is, because driving it on the street, it's 190, 192. It doesn't matter how much you're into that gas pedal, it's always there. But at a standstill in the staging lanes, it just seems like it really wants more. It wants more RPM, it wants the air flowing, it wants to take advantage of that different grill setup that's going to allow it to cool properly on the track, not the drag strip. We've had meetings here the last couple of days, and the first thing we're going to address is our simple, basic starter stop the hop kit. We're going to do alignment dials, we're going to do bushing inserts, and our patented IRS braces that I still to this day cannot keep on the shelf. They just work that good. Now, I said we might have found the extreme or the limit with the tires. Well, I made sure to put some miles on the car over the weekend before I brought it back in. So maybe we got down to some fresh rubber. We probably won't do a burnout again next time we go out there, but we like to do just one simple kit. Our starter stop the hop kit, go back out there with those road race tires, see if we can improve on that 199 60 foot, and see if just simply adding the Steeda stop the hop kit can make that much of a difference for a road race car at the drag strip. Well, that's how we ended up at the drag strip. Wasn't our best showing, but we feel confident with some tweaks, we can get this thing down to where it needs to be. The mid 12-second zone, maybe a little bit faster. So we're gonna address the number one thing that hampered our performance at the drag strip, which is the wheel hop in the back. We're gonna bring another set of tires with us just in case, but we're gonna go back out there in a couple weeks and see how she does. Now in the meantime, while it's 100% stock, we did Sebring, we did the drag strip. What's next? Autocross. So we're gonna put Jamie Bell, our resident tech expert, behind the wheel of this car, and we're gonna go hit up the autocross. Why? We wanna put this thing through the paces. Try every possible type of racing with it to see what kind of product Ford offered, what you can expect out of the car, where we can improve upon to make it more enjoyable for you, the end user. So hit like, subscribe, follow us on YouTube, Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, and remember the most important thing, Steeda, where speed matters.